Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in Israel.
Shalom Akim, Yabashim Shah, Barakatam, Kahala Yabashim Shah. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and sincere greetings to the Akim in the book of Yabashim Shah. I just got a brief video, just to keep brothers updated. It's been a while, but Lord willing, brothers just gotta stay in the spirit. So, brothers are already familiar with the situation as per President Trump, going along with designating the city of Jerusalem as the capital for Israel, and then, also signing the waiver to delay moving the U.S. Embassy there. It's been in the talks for a long time, but nonetheless, the Most High has things planned out, so all these decisions made by the politicians around the world, it's going to make the people's blood boil, It makes the folks angry. But nonetheless, hey, the folks worrying about the land, but they can't get the inheritance because it's a spiritual thing, The Most High chose, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as his lot among the people on the face of the earth, So there's nothing that could replace that, So the Most High, they put his conditions, in the book of Jeremiah, if the heavens could be measured, the depth of the seas, that's how he would disown us, but that's not going to happen, So whatever decisions these elites are making is not going to come to, fruition, because the Most High is not going to cast away his people. Alright, so I just played a video briefly.
Is gearing up for potential clashes outside its doors by implementing extra security measures. It also issued a travel alert forbidding employees from traveling to Jerusalem's Old City. International leaders and the United Nations were quick to voice their concerns about recognizing Jerusalem as the capital, calling Washington's step to do so a radical one.
C'est une décision regrettable.
This is a regrettable decision which France does not approve of and which contradicts international law and UN Security Council resolutions.
We disagree with the U.S. decision to move its embassy to Jerusalem and recognize Jerusalem as the Israeli capital before a final status agreement. We believe it is unhelpful in terms of prospects for peace in the region.
The European Union expresses serious concern about today's announcement by the United States President Trump. The aspirations of both parties must be fulfilled and a way must be found through negotiations.
The fact is that the Palestinians are again totally lonely, that the Americans declare themselves as a non-fair and non-balanced mediator, maybe forever, and that there is no future whatsoever to any kind of peace process in those circumstances.
Well, the immediate reaction is one of outrage, a little bit perhaps of pity towards the American people who are led by a man who seems to be as clueless as he is ignorant about this conflict, about the implication of this reckless decision that he's just taken, and about the diminished standing that he is taking his country to because of these policies and because of this statement that is absolutely detached from reality and a slap in the face to the entire international system. This step is, first of all, illegal under international law. The message that Trump sent out from the White House today is that the United States, under the Trump administration, will reward countries for violating international law, will reward countries for being bullies, will reward countries for violating human rights.
Yeah, well, that's about it's crazy, but Lord willing, I bring out some more precepts. So here's 2 Maccabees chapter 5, verse 19. It says, "Nevertheless, the Most High Abba Shai did not choose the people for the place's sake." Alright, for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake. So all that, decisions to move the embassy to Jerusalem, it's not going to have a major effect on the salvation, of the elect. Yabashim Shai, they set things in motion. So it's going to happen, regardless, whatever people do. But the Most High is decision still stands. Alright, so this is 2 Maccabees 5 and 19. I read again. Nevertheless, the Most High Bashim Al-Shah did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake. Alright, verse 20 now says, and therefore the place itself that was partaker with them of the adversity that happened to the nation did afterward communicate in the benefit sent from the Lord, and as it was forsaken in the wrath of the Almighty, so again the great Lord being reconciled, it was set up with all glory. So that glory is going to come, after World War III, when the heathen are going to be put in their place of captivity, and the nation of Israel is going to be rebuilt. The land is going to be cleansed of all the abomination, So that's the spirit of Yahweh Shim Al-Shai, spirit of reconciliation. Alright, so it's going to be a good thing, man. So it's going to be crazy. If you also look at the book of Joel chapter 3. Okay, so this is Joel chapter 3. I start from verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So the Messiah is going to be angry, man. The Messiah is angry, but his anger is going to be very evident in these last days, man, because World War III is on the brink of happening, on a larger scale. So folks are just asleep, man. The whole idea of letting the Edomites rule on the nation of Israel, and the land of Israel, that's just the Most High's judgment upon us, to punish us for our iniquities. So that time of punishment is almost over, So it's going to be a time for these Edomites, that want to hold on to false hope and false dreams. It's time for their judgment to come to the forefront. Alright? So that's the Most High's judgment to let these things happen. And then you look at Isaiah chapter 32 and 18. It says, alright, I just go to the point, verse 18. And my people shall dwell in a peaceful habitation, and in sure dwellings, and in quiet resting places. So that's going to be a quick, a very huge contrast, man, because right now the whole land is up in turmoil, man. There's never peace in that place, man. It's always madness, always madness, it's always strife, political strife among the Edomites, among the heathen, protests, all kinds of crimes and abominations in that place, So the Most High is going to burn that place up, it's going to purge it, it's going to purge it with that fire. Yeah, because it's about time, man, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they wake up to that true identity, the nationality being Israelites, So the Most High is going to make that prophecy come to pass, just like in the book of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, that word of life, the spirit of truth is going to enter into them. So it's going to happen regardless of whatever, plans or enterprises that the elites have in mind. And you look at Revelation chapter 21 and verse 2. Okay, this is start from verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Alright, so the old things have already passed away. The old rulership of the Edomites and the heathen have been knocked out. It's going to be knocked out, alright, by Yahweh Shai and his angels. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem coming down from Yahweh Shem Shai out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. Alright, so this is verse 3. It says, And I heard a great voice out of heaven, saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh Shem Shai is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Lord Yahweh Shem Shai himself shall be with them, and be their power. So, it's all about the nation of Israel, tabernacle of Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be with the nation of Israel, not with all the nations, alright. So, the so-called niggers and Latinos across the world, that are getting ready for salvation from Yahweh Shai have a bright future to look forward to, man. So it's gonna be, a beautiful place, man. Because right now that place is a terrible mess, Yep. So it's gonna be a beautiful thing, and when after that destruction, the Most High is gonna give us a spiritual mindset. We'll never go off again. We'll never be subject to sin. We're gonna be ruling in righteousness. So if you look at Revelation chapter 3, I look at verse 12. Okay, let me start from verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Alright, so the heathen, they're striving day and night to take our crown, but, Lord willing, it doesn't happen. To the men of the Lord on the highways and the byways, it's going to be a beautiful thing to get that reward once the job is completed. Yes, so just give me 1 second. Hey, Yabashima Shabrak. Alright, I'll see you, Lord willing. Shalom, Mark. Yes, so like I can, just about doing the work of Yahweh Shem Shai. So we have no other resting place but in the scriptures. So verse 12 of Revelation, the 3rd chapter says, Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my power, and I will write upon him my new name. Alright, so that's what we're aspiring for, man. That's a mark of exemption, that we pray that Yahweh Shema shall have mercy upon us, because we can't really attain this by ourselves. But Lord willing, we have that number that that blessing is bestowed upon, man, so that we could get salvation. It's going to be a beautiful thing, man, to finish this journey, the journey of adversity that we have to deal with all the time. So, Lord willing, Yahweh Shem Shai keeps us safe, keeps us faithful unto the end, because all hell's about to break loose, man. This protest is going to come over here too. So, it's a beautiful thing, man. Just hold on, stay steadfast. Yahweh Shem Shai is faithful to keep his word. Stay diligent, keep the faith. Alright. So I can hope I was helpful, just stay in the spirit, it's not easy. You're gonna catch hell doing this work. So just pray that Yahweh Shem Shai continue to strengthen you. Alright, Shalom.